Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Monday, January 15th, 2024. Of course, it is also Martin Luther King Day, so happy Martin Luther King Day as well. We have a lot to talk about here. Now, normally I wouldn't do a premium public discussion, but especially for a light to moderate snowfall event. But the reason why is because we really haven't seen accumulating snowfall like this in 2 years. And so there is that concern, especially with people not used to traveling in snowfall. So I wanted to give everyone an understanding of what to expect, why to expect it, and how to prepare for it. So, again, this isn't a major winter storm, but given the timing, especially for this evening, for a lighter evening rush hour, and for tomorrow morning, a more robust morning rush hour, there needs to be some discussion of what type of conditions you're going to be dealing with. So currently right now we have an Arctic air mass in place. And if you don't know, just walk outside because you'll certainly feel it, with temperatures ranging from the mid to upper teens over much of the northern interior, even a few single digits here around the Poconos. Along the coast, temperatures generally range from the lower to mid 20s in your suburbs, mid to upper 20s on the immediate coast. Your warmest location is 30 degrees out towards Montauk on the east end of Long Island. And you're seeing clouds increasing, and off to our southwest, we're already seeing signs of some light snowfall. Now, this isn't exactly part of our low pressure system and our storm, but it's a segment of it. So it's kind of an appetizer what's developing down here. And when we take a look at the radar, you can see some of these snow showers here. Here's our developing storm back here, and this is part of the developing storm back here. So this is part of a frontal boundary between the Arctic air and the polar air, and then the tropical air down here. You have your polar shortwave back here. So when we take a look at the infrared satellite picture, you can see this is what we call frontogenesis. This is lifting is created by the temperature gradient that is in place over the southeast and moving into the mid-Atlantic between the pure Arctic air, polar air, and tropical air. Here is our polar shortwave, and down here is our subtropical shortwave. Now, as you remember, a couple of days ago, we were watching this whole threat for a more significant storm, but because of the timing of the shortwaves and the overall 500 millibar pattern, that is not going to be the case. But we still have that polar shortwave interacting with this gradient. So when we take a look at that gradient, you can see very clearly here. Now, here's your warm air, and here's your Arctic air, and here's your polar air right here. So it's a nice sandwich of thermal gradients, and that's in place from the surface all the way up to the mid levels. And because of that, what you start to develop here is this area of lifting. Now you have some very weak area of lifting here around the Delmarva Peninsula, and that's producing our snow flurries. That's going to continue to lift northward, and this afternoon you might see a snow shower or two, but not really the full-on beginning of this event. So a few flurries, a few snow showers developing this afternoon. This feature here is going to be lifting to the northeast and heading right towards the I-95 corridor. Meanwhile, while that's all happening, the polar shortwave right here is going to be interacting with that gradient and with that frontogenesis. Now, right now, we have this ridge. Now, the ridge, again, the reason why we're not seeing a major storm is that our subtropical shortwave down here is going to continue to exit out towards the Bahamas and then out towards Bermuda, because of this ridge and trough dynamic here just not lining up, allowing for a deep enough trough in the polar jet stream to interact with our subtropical shortwave. So that's why we're not seeing a major storm. We're talking about 6 inches or more. What we have instead is the polar shortwave coming in and this gradient coming in, and just enough moisture to interact to support a light to moderate snowfall over all the northern mid-Atlantic. So when I take a look at all this data and you take a look at the lifting here, again, you can see There's the polar shortwave approaching Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon. There's your frontogenesis beginning this evening in earnest and continuing. That's at 700 millibars. That's at 850 millibars again this evening on into tomorrow morning. And then you combine those factors with the thermal gradient that's going to be in place. This is at 925 millibars. Again, what I'm watching here when we're studying this, and let's go back to 36 hours here, is this gradient right here between -3 and -8. And the strongest gradient is right on the I-95 corridor. And that's shown up also on other model guides as well, pretty much setting up in that corridor here. Now you have colder air here. So your snow ratios are going to be much higher here, but your lifting is going to be here. And the other factor, again, we'll take a look at the NAM model guidance here, and this is your frontogenesis. You see this area here? This is your warm air transport, is your cold air transport, warmer and colder temperatures. But the key thing to keep an eye on are these areas right here in purple. So as we move on through today into this evening, there's our first wave. And as we go on through the evening into the overnight hours, there's our frontogenesis interacting very clearly here at 850 millibars, moving through tonight into tomorrow morning, and then pushing off the coast tomorrow evening. So when we look at this frontogenesis and the 500 millibar PVA interacting, the other thing you have to keep an eye on is where is the moisture. So you have all the lifting in the world if you don't have any moisture to lift. So that's another factor in this forecast. So as we could see for today, the moisture increases. Again, this is precipitable water value. You hear me talk about this a lot when we're looking at heavy precipitation events. Well, the same thing with light and moderate precipitation events. Where is your moisture in this scenario? And as you can see, tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, your bulk of your deeper moisture is on the coast, but you also have marginal thermal gradient here, marginal temperature profile here. So you're going to see some mixing of sleet and rain right along the immediate coast. Here's where you have plenty of cold air and deep enough moisture. And over the interior, you have plenty of cold air, plenty of lifting, but not a lot of moisture. So I think that the lifting will maximize the amount of moisture that's in the atmosphere back here in northwestern New Jersey and northeastern Pennsylvania and the Poconos and Catskills. And there will be some bursts of moderate snow, but there isn't a lot of moisture to work with. Right around the I-95 corridor, you get the combination of cold air, lifting, and moisture all at the same time. So that is why I created this forecast. Now, back here, for you premium members out there, if when you are a premium member, you get access to this map that's been developing for the past couple of days. And if you're looking for the heaviest snowfall, 3 to 6 inches, well, you want to head out towards West Virginia. But for our neck of the woods, okay, we're looking at 1 to 3 inches here. Again, I would say like Scranton, northwestern New Jersey, the Poconos, Catskills, portions of northern Connecticut. You're going to be really, really close to that 3-inch mark. And if we get a little bit more moisture push up into these regions, I could certainly see that 4 or 5-inch snowfall setup. But I'm skeptical of just how far north that moisture gradient actually pushes. So where I have the combination of strong lifting via frontogenesis, 500 millibar PVA, and moisture transport, and a thermal gradient cold enough to support moderate snowfall, this is where I have 2 to 5 inches of snow. And again, this will develop in earnest by 5 p.m. and continue on. Now, I have this going till 6 p.m. I expect the bulk of this snowfall to be between 8 p.m. tonight and 2 p.m. tomorrow. And then you have lingering snow showers spitting thereafter as our lifting lifts on through. And along basically the Delmarva Peninsula, southern Delaware, up through the Jersey Shore, and along the south side of Long Island, we're looking at 1 to 3 inches of snow. I would not be surprised if we get a gradient here of 1 inch, 1 and 2 inches, and 3 and 4 inches on the extreme north end of Long Island. in this scenario. But I do expect a little bit more mixing of snow, sleet, a little bit of rain. Temperatures right around 33, 34 degrees, right on the immediate coast. So you'll see some snow, you see some sleet, you see some rain going back and ending as snow as the colder air works back in right on the immediate coast. But again, the I-95 corridor, where again we haven't seen a lot of people travel, and we haven't seen a travel with snowfall and these conditions making for slick roadways and icy roadways, it is a concern in this scenario. And so that's why we're watching for 2 to 5 inches. And this is why we have the winter weather advisories out and the rest. So that is our first storm. Yes, first storm. We might have another. Let's talk about that. So for today, increasing cloud cover, snow showers developing. Look for high temperatures, right chilly in the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. For tonight into tomorrow morning, our snow continues. Look for low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 20s. For tomorrow afternoon, our snowfall continues and starts to taper off towards the evening, with high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior, upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. For Wednesday, high pressure builds in. Tranquil conditions are expected, but very cold. Look for low temperatures in the single digits to mid-teens over the northern interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. High temperatures won't get much better. Upper teens to lower 20s over the northern interior, mid to upper 20s along the coast. You're going to need a heavy coat, parka, hats, scarves, gloves, everything. But hey, at least it's not -4 out like it is out in Kansas, right? So for Thursday, high pressure will exit and we'll have a weak trough pass through the region with sky cloud cover and a few flurries here and there. Nothing too significant. Look for low temperatures ranging from the mid to upper teens over the northern interior, upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the upper 20s to lower 30s over the interior, mid to upper 30s along the coast. Now on Friday, we start to see a low pressure system develop. And that's going to lead to the threat for some light to moderate snowfall. This could be a more significant storm, but there is a question as to whether or not this is more of a significant low pressure system closer to the coast or one that's a little bit more strung out. So we'll keep an eye on the developments here as this feature begins to form here on Friday. Look for low temperatures ranging from the lower to mid 20s and high temperatures ranging from the mid to upper 20s over the northern interior and upper 20s to lower 30s along the coast. So certainly cold enough for snowfall. The question is the intensity once again. That snowfall will exit on Saturday with snow showers by the afternoon. Look for low temperatures to range from the mid to upper teens over the northern interior and upper teens to lower 20s along the coast. High temperatures ranging from the mid to upper teens over the interior and lower to mid 20s along the coast. So temperatures aren't going to be moving all that much on Saturday. On Sunday, high pressure builds in with sky cloud cover expected. Could be a few flurries in the Poconos and Catskills. Look for low temperatures in the single digits to lower teens and high temperatures ranging from the upper teens to lower 20s over the northern interior, lower to mid 20s along the coast. And on Monday, high pressure continues to remain in control with tranquil conditions, with low temperatures remaining very low in the single digits to mid teens and high temperatures rebounding, though, as high pressure shifts off the coast. We get more of a southwesterly wind ranging from the lower to mid 30s. That is your forecast discussion for today. Have a wonderful day. We'll have updates throughout this afternoon and evening as the snow begins to develop. So definitely keep an eye on that. And as always, stay safe out there.